Hello, welcome to Dagon Contemporary. We are here in the summer exhibition Behind Your Eyelid by皮皮乐迪. I'm Tobias Berger, the curator of that exhibition. The overall idea of that exhibition is really皮皮乐迪fascination with the liminal, with the skin, with the membranes, with everything that's kind of in between, and her focus on these things. The exhibition, Behind Your Eyelid, starts here on the third floor of Dagon Contemporary. The first room is called Pixel Forest, and we're going in now. When we were talking about the idea of the liminal, the skin, the in-between, Pixel Forest is a perfect first work for that exhibition, because you basically feel like you're going under the skin, under the screen of a video. You see 3,000 pixels, all handmade, all individually programmed, that are around you. You are in a video, you are in a moving image, you hear the sound, and the whole experience is like diving underneath the screen. It's like being inside of a video. The beauty of that work, it is really immersive. You can walk through it, you can look at it, you can stay at the corner and just watch the video because there is some kind of film, or you can just sit and experience this amazing 3,000-piece big installation. After literally just diving into the electronic image, into the video at Pixel Forest, we now actually see皮皮乐迪maybe most iconic early work, Zip My Ocean from 1993. And Zip My Ocean is interesting on many levels. On the one side, again, she's interested in the surface, the skin, the in-between. But what we see her is her and the partner diving in the Red Sea. But we don't not only see them two, we see also a lot of strange objects. A record, a caravan, a doll. And it's always the question, is it above the sea level? Is it below the sea level? On the other side, that work was extremely important for video history because it was not only the first video projection that was ever sold to a museum, but it was also interesting how she produced it. In that time, video projections were very expensive and very rare, and you could not synchronize them. So what皮皮乐迪did is she just flipped the image. So you basically have the same image from one source, but twice. And with that, she enlarged the idea of video projections. She made them into room-filled projects and really changed the way we look at video and video projections in museum spaces. With you. After Zip My Ocean, which is a calm but rather disturbing work, we go to Ever is Over All. Ever is Over All is another one of皮皮乐迪iconic works. It was shown the first time in 1997 at the Venice Biennial, and from there on it became an iconic work being copied by various people, among others Beyoncé in an important music video. What we see is an actor walking down the streets in Zurich, destroying different car windows, with great pleasure, funnily enough. What is beautiful about it is that she's carrying actually a flower. And I think for皮皮乐迪that flower is important because it really symbolizes nature. It symbolizes this idea of the fight or the competition between nature and traffic and urbanization, and that there is a way to fight back. There's a way of enjoyment, and there's also a way of a certain spectacle that can be used in different ways to bring over or to communicate a certain message. Coming down to the second floor of Dagon Contemporary, we are seeing a wonderful site-specific installation by皮皮乐迪. What she did is rather easy. She has colored each window, or all our windows, in a different color. But it is rather upsetting because our eye always tries to find the white balance. And having all these different colors around us really changes our perception from the inside and from the outside. And the work also changes. On the daytime, we, being inside, look outside and see a very, very different, very colorful world. However, at nighttime, when this light is on here, this whole building becomes like a big lantern and glows outside in a wonderful, colorful way. So with a very quick and easy change, she basically changed the whole perception of the entire space. We have done soul light all around the second floor, so it's also in the coffee shop and on the other side. And in the coffee shop, she added some mirrors. And in places where you normally have decoration in these shops, she put mirrors in, and with that kind of amplifies that change of colors and the different way we perceive color. Because color for Pippi Lottie-Rist is one of the most important elements in all her work. Apart from that big, large installation called Soul Light, we also have the smallest work here. It's called Selbstlos im Lavaland, Selfless in Lavaland, and it's a small, tiny hole in the floor. And in that floor, you see Pippi Lottie-Rist basically in hell, in the bath of lava, trying to survive, talking about survival, living, the wonders of living and being there. But it's a very innovative work because nowhere else have we ever seen a work in the floor. It is embedded in it. It goes down all the way. And not many people actually see it. But because of the sound again, it's beautiful because people hear it and listen to it, and then they get attracted to it and experience that this small but very, very important work. So here we are on the first floor of Daegun Contemporary. We are in a work which is called Das Zimmer, the room. And what you see is this oversized, wonderful furniture with an oversized, wonderful lamp and an old, almost old now, 1980s TV. And on that TV, you can actually see 10 different of Pippi Lottie's old works. Because Pippi Lottie-Rist started not as an artist, but as somebody who worked in video departments, that did a lot of graphic design, and then only slowly, with almost the way the art and the art history embraced video art, she also became an important video artist. What is beautiful on these early videos is that they're a little bit more raw. They are some of them are quite sexually charged. There's one work called Pimple Porno, where she tries to make a pornography movie out of a feminist perspective. There are a lot of songs there. It also reflects her early associations with a lot of different bands for them. And she worked for these bands. She made the visuals for these bands. She was singing in these bands. So here, really in Das Zimmer, you see the essence of where Pippi Lottie-Rist started her career. After leaving Das Zimmer, we come to another work, which is called Winterlandshaft, Winter Landscape. Pippi Lottie-Rist always titles her works in the language where the work is first exhibited. And obviously that work was first exhibited in a German-speaking environment. In fact, it is a work by another artist, an academic painter, Mr. Wyman, who painted it about 100 years ago, and he painted a winter landscape. And on top of this winter landscape, Pippi Lottie-Rist projects with different images and videos her world. And what is fascinating about it is how precise she can address every little pixel, every little tree, and every little border to make this work lively. She can make it into a film, into a choreography of a landscape that is ever-changing and very, very animated. After Winterlandschaft, we go into another Landschaft, another landscape. And here we are in Big Skin, a work especially produced here for Daegun Contemporary. Big Skin is interesting on many different levels. First of all, Pippi Lottie-Rist developed a material, a so-called a skin, that are almost cloud-like hanging in that space. So she takes the projection away from the floor, from the wall or the ceiling, and puts them into the space, floating more or less in the space. She combines this with the music, which is very meditative. The whole thing has almost a church-like meditative atmosphere. And then she projects very precisely on these 12 different skins. And you see not only the projections, but you see also the wonderful little frames that frame these 12 skins. They're hanging here in the space together with a chandelier. It's a Hong Kong chandelier because it's specially made from Hong Kong. But she has used this kind of laundry, or what it is, it's actually white underwear, quite a lot of times. She makes public sculptures out of them. She uses it for laundry. But it's this beautiful material, also this beautiful color, which is between white and beige, that makes it quite interesting. But also the idea about dirty laundry, the idea about washing other people's dirty laundry or not doing that. So there's a lot of associations also with the earlier movies she's made in these white underwears, which you find in almost every of her exhibitions in one or the other way. Welcome to the apartment. The apartment is actually not only one work, it's about 30 different works of Pippi Lotti-Rist. They all come together here at F Hall, which is the former women's prison here at Daegun. For us, it's very important to be very aware of where we show exhibitions and look at the history of these spaces. Some of the works here in the apartment are really domestic works. They are works that show how video or how electronic images are slowly more and more occupying our daily life. One very beautiful work here is Sentimental Sideboard, which is actually not a new work. It is a work she did before where she plays with the hands, which is something a lot of people do when they first time see a projector. It's an old children's game. What happened here but is that it actually bleeds over onto this wonderful wallpaper. And you see the hands not only playing on the sideboard, but also on the wallpaper. The apartment is a collection of different furniture, of different designs that Pippi Lotti has collected over the last few years. It changes every time she is exhibiting it, and she's adding new things, and she's taking things away she doesn't like anymore. One very, very beautiful work that she added here is actually a philosopher's stone. A philosopher's stone is a stone that you find in a lot of Chinese households that's between a decoration and object of contemplation. And what she did is she actually put another very beautiful pixel map, image, movie, narrative onto that philosopher's stone. Like everywhere in the apartment, the projector is visible, but it is a little bit hidden. You don't really see it. We have many things in that apartment that are new in this exhibition. Another new work is this Opium Bat, which we bought here in Hong Kong. And on it, you see this dancer. It's a male and a female dancer, and they're hanging in space. They're loose. It's almost a dance in space. But none of that is computer generated. And I think that's also one of the attractivenesses of Pippi Lotti-Rist and all these works she's doing. This is not an exhibition that relies on computer-generated images. Everything you see is actually close-ups, it's filmed, it's all the reality. We look at it from very different perspectives. We see the skin, we see here actually the whole wallpaper that looks very abstract, but what it is that she did spit on her iPhone, and if you do spit or you put saliva on your iPhone and you make a photograph of it, you get different colors, you get different images, and this is this wonderful image here. Another work, which is a work, is actually that wonderful table. And here you sit, it's beautiful because you can sit together. Everything in this apartment, people can sit, they can hang out, they can sleep, they can lay down. So it really embraces you. It is an experience you have every day, an experience of comfort and embracing. And here we sit on that beautifully set table, and we have these wonderful different videos that are patterns, but again, nothing is computer generated. Everything is created out of plants, out of skins, looking at the surface, really looking closely. I think that is what is very, very important at Pippi Lotti-Rist. another work is this kind of apartment situation. And this is actually Lapland. And you can sit in that sofa and you have the projection on you. So the projector is not only on the sofa, but it's also on you. If you don't want it, you can turn it off, and it's off. But then very nicely you can turn the light on, and here you can have the video playing again after a second. In that whole apartment, you also have the big video behind you, right? The big videos with 3 of her most iconic works, really going deep, really going on the surface and concentrating and showing us images that we actually see almost every day, but we've never seen them in that way. That is why a lot of people just hang there, sit there and enjoy these wonderful images that Pippi Lottie-Rist has put together for us. Here we are standing in the staircase of Daegun Contemporary. And one of the first works people see of that exhibition is actually the so-called Innocent Collection. And the Innocent Collection is a collection of different plastic and PVC wrappings we see every day in all the consumer goods. It's something we normally don't even look at. What Pippi Lottie-Rist did is she uses these, she collects them, she uses them, and puts them on windows. And with that, they become beautiful objects. She calls them instant diamonds. And people look at these things, the things they throw away every day, in a very new way. And so the Innocent Collection is somehow also a symbol of something where Pippi Lottie takes something and changes it and uses light and form and makes it into something beautiful. But it also talks about environmentalism, about our way of just throwing everything away and destroying our whole environment. So there is a deeper message into that work. And I think that is a beautiful thing with a lot of Pippi Lottie-Rist's work. She uses beauty, she uses spectacle to basically communicate different other messages about humanity and the problems we are facing. On the left side here, we have Pippi Lottie-Rist's first work. 1986, she's I'm Not the Girl Who Misses Much. And it comes from a song John Lennon wrote about Yoko Ono called She's Not the Girl Who Misses Much. What is interesting is that this video, which is an iconic work of hers, was originally made for TV. But what we did here is we took that same image and brought it into a new reality. We brought it on an LED screen as a first, or basically the last work people see in this exhibition. And you listen all the time, this idea about I'm not the girl who's missing much, I'm not the girl who's missing much. And I think that is a fantastic thing about Pippi Lottie-Rist. She really teaches us things we normally would miss. She teaches us and shows us images, sounds, environments that we could miss. And so she, in the end, is really the girl who does not miss much. So if Pippi Lottie-Rist is not the girl that misses much and shows us not to miss much, I think it is important also to include all the exhibition items we have outside of the galleries. For us, it is always important to be open and to be welcoming. Therefore, Pippi Lottie-Rist did a big installation for the prison yard, which is only visible at night, because these are big projectors. Then we have Sleeping Poland in one of the prison cells. For us, it is important to take the fabric of Daegun into that exhibition. Open My Clade is an artwork she has shown in different places, among others in Times Square in New York. And last but not least, we have a huge poster installation on 55 Squares at the parade ground, where 2 of her iconic pictures are on view for everybody every day. Here we are at the prison yard of Daegun. And this site-specific work that Pippi Lottie-Rist created just for the prison yard is called Water Tiger Caliban. And like a balm, this is really hugging you, it's healing you, it's using color, it's using movement and wonderful pictures to bring people together. To bring people together at this glade in the middle of Hong Kong. Surrounded by skyscrapers, we are here at the former prison yard, which was a special place for Daegun and for the Victoria prison. This installation is important for Pippi Lottie because she's more and more interested to go out in public space. She just has finished a very important project in Rotterdam, and she's very interested here at the locality but also as you see, these lines are going from the trees. It is really a site-specific installation. For皮皮乐迪, this was her first huge show in Hong Kong, and it brought together about 50 works from the beginning of her career up to the end with new big commissions inside the gallery, but also 5 new works outside here at Daegun for everybody to enjoy. The exhibition will last until the mid-November, and we're looking forward to see as many public as possible that can visit us here in Hong Kong.